welcome back. Uh, our, this, our guest today, Professor Sajjadul Rahman, is going to talk about COVID-19 and its various aspects. We just talked about its origins, precautions, and how to tackle it. Well, again, we are going to talk about COVID-19, but have we been able to do something about how to get rid of it, how to tackle it? Yes, sir. You were talking about a vaccine, probably making of a vaccine, but it takes time, as you said.
Well, for the treatment of any disease, we need some medicine. And if this is infectious disease, we need something to prevent it from coming back. That is a vaccine.
Right.
Now we don't have neither. We have neither. So as there is no specific treatment for this, people have tried different types of medication. Some antiviral that has been tried for other diseases before.
Right.
And a couple of them have been found to have some good effect on this. And one of them is remdesivir, and the other are the people are not very happy about it in the scientific community, but it came after President Trump declared that he is taking hydroxychloroquine.
Yeah.
And that was given permission by the US Center for Disease Control, but then they found out that this does not have much effect on the virus. The other antiviral drug, remdesivir, which is found to be effective against some of the other coronaviruses in stopping the virus to replicate and prevent them from getting into the system, and they are being taken over by the defense system of the body. Now, these two drugs, apart from these, I have already spoken about dexamethasone, which reduces the sorry.
Okay. It reduces the symptoms, or it reduces the impact of the virus on human body. We were talking about coronavirus, and with our guest today, Professor Sajjadul Rahman. We have lost him, but we'll be back soon. Over the centuries, the world has. Okay. Welcome back, sir. Yes, you've got him. Yes, you were talking about something like cure to find the drug, to have the vaccine.
Yes. About the drug, I was talking to you about dexamethasone. It reduces the time in the ventilator, and the disease time comes down from about 2 to 3 weeks to 10 days. So that, and reduce the mortality from 100% to 75%. 1/3 mortality has been, or 1/4 mortality has been reduced. Now about the vaccine, we are trying desperately to develop vaccine. We don't have vaccine for HIV as well, which has been there for last few decades. I don't know whether we will be able to get a vaccine. People have tried. The Oxford people have developed a vaccine, but that has failed in their human tests. And some of the monkeys they used, they did not develop antibodies. About vaccines, if you give vaccine, the body develops antibody for this virus or the bacteria, whatever it is, and thereby defends itself from any further attack. The other two vaccines, one is from China and other is Imperial College, and some are being tried in the United States. They are all trying desperately. But again, I must say, It is only 7 months into the pandemic, and it is not easy to get a vaccine developed in such a
True,
short time.
true. It has to be
I
tested and
give
tried.
credit to them. So we don't know when it will come, if it will come at all, but we have to save ourselves by other means, other preventive measures that we are doing, and especially the lockdown system uh, of treatment, or
Isolating people.
preventing the virus from getting into us, and others are staying away from the virus or virus-ridden people, using mask, social distancing, and self quarantine, going into self quarantine to keep away from us, keep away the virus from us. Now, one thing is we have found out in this during this period that
Right.
this coronavirus has affected mostly the elderly people, and there is a bias for the darker skin color group.
Right.
This is probably due to their immune deficiency and deficiency in the vitamin D that they have. Most
Yes.
of the people in some of the countries, they have found out that, especially in America and China, they have found out that their vitamin D level was very low. Those people who have died, they have done retrospective studies, and they have found their vitamin D level is low. And they also have found out this vitamin D level being low where sunlight is not coming directly and they are not being absorbed because we require the UV light to
Right.
prepare vitamin D from our blood and skin.
Right.
So
Isn't it
whoever has
also
got immune deficiency, whoever has got immune deficiency, they are more vulnerable.
right?
And our dark people do get less vitamin D made from the sunlight,
Right.
that by genetic.
Because we don't go out in the sun.
But even if we do go out in the sun, our skin pigment, the melanin pigment, prevents the UV light getting into the
Uh-huh.
body more,
Uh-huh.
enough to prepare enough vitamin D.
So the best way to get vitamin D is to take tablets, is it?
Yes, it is becoming a practice that most of the people are taking vitamin D, and we can find that in Bangladesh especially, people are using this sort of precautionary measures in a
Right.
different way.
Right.
We wash our hands very frequently,
Okay.
as it's a Muslim country in Bangladesh, and if they go for prayer, they wash their hands five
5 times.
times a day, not with soap, but at least they wash that.
Yep.
And this practice we are doing, where they are using warm water, salt gargling, then taking plenty of lemon juice, taking other Ayurvedic sort of medication,
Yep.
and keeping the virus at bay.
Yes. Yes.
Another thing I did not mention before, that the willpower is a very major factor in this disease. Those who have got better willpower, they can fight the COVID better.
But
Because willpower,
isn't that willpower necessary to fight any disease?
anything, any disease or any enemy, whether it is disease or someone trying to kill you
Right.
otherwise. So what it does, it enhances the immune system by directly influencing the brain. Brain sends some chemicals to the immune system. The killer cells and the lymphocytes
Right.
gets uh, very much strengthened. So
Wha-
this
wha-
I didn't mention
Yeah,
before.
but how to create that kind of self-confidence to fight out a virus which is killing so many
Fear,
people?
avoid fear.
Fear.
People have become so frightened and so worried that they have shunned everything, and the government had to take special measures so that people are controlled. And by putting fear into them, to the common people, they could restrain them from going into crowded places and spreading the virus. We should have courage and fight as well with enough moral strength. And that's the main thing that we can do
Yes,
now,
there is a
using all
line.
our answers.
There is a line between being foolhardy and courageous, isn't it?
Of
Because
course, of course,
recently a
that is
lot of
where,
people went to seaside and they were mingling with each
well,
other.
they became overjoyed by living in the lockdown. It is like a flock of chicken coming out of
The food.
closed door from a chicken den. They fly out of the den.
Yes,
So this is people are joyful. They have been used to being enjoying the free nature of human.
right.
So suddenly they have been locked down, and once it is lifted, they all rushed out of it. And there has been another thing I did not mention. During the lockdown, there has been a lot of mental problem
Right,
with people, and
right,
that is also going to be a problem in future to deal with.
right. Also there
But
was domestic violence,
we,
abuse
there
of
has been
children.
400 times rate of divorce application
Yeah.
in UK.
Yes, they say familiarity breeds contempt, and
Contempt, yes,
and I think Oscar Wilde had added and children. See, so
yes.
whatever happens during this coronavirus pandemic that we are experiencing, there is going to be a baby boom, and maybe come 2021, there will be in March or April there will be a lot of children, and the maternity wards will be very busy.
Well, hopefully, and by then, hopefully, we will get rid of this coronavirus with our all our effort jointly. All over the world, people are trying to join together, save those politically influenced people and those who are trying to cash out from this
Right.
COVID pandemic.
But as you said that it takes 10 years for a drug to be tried and tested. See,
Yes, but this virus usually gets actually get weaker
uh-huh.
as time passes, and it dies out by itself in about 2-3 years time.
What do you think of
Until
what do you think of people saying that we should be prepared for the second wave of this virus?
we thought it would be, but if you look at this, there was a saying that by April we'll be having the second wave,
Right.
and it didn't come. We are expecting the fall second wave. It didn't come. But in China, a second wave came in Beijing, and they had a lockdown. We are worrying that in Bangladesh, country like Bangladesh, who has got very limited resource in medical services, and our budget expenditure in health is very meager. We have to depend on our willpower and the other preventive measures to fight this virus.
Uh,
Although Reximco, a company which has come out producing this antiviral
right.
medication, and they are giving this treatment free to the government hospitals.
Have you come
And
across the news, Dr. Sajjad, about the pneumonia virus?
yes, this is a pneumonia, but this is a different type of pneumonia. Because last year there was an accident in the American Defense Biomedical Engineering Lab. They had to shut down in August. They had to shut down this Fort Detrick research laboratory for quite some time, following which there was an unusual rise of pneumonia-like disease. They didn't know what it was. Originally, they said that it was electronic smoke, the cause. But later on, they retracted this. And 12,000 people died from mid 2019 to December. thought that it was a very unusual form
Finally,
of
finally,
virus.
Dr. Sajjad, do you think by any stretch of imagination is this coronavirus part of uh, bacterial warfare?
This is what I have already mentioned in my first part, that there people have been trying to experiment with these coronaviruses to oversmart, sort of uh, trying to oversmart and get something more weapon, more ferocious and more effective than the other side. So
Yeah,
this is also a part, but we don't know. We give benefit of
right.
goodness of
Very
human
briefly,
nature.
we are at the end of the program. Very briefly, in one sentence, what do we learn from it?
Well, what I feel that we learn from looking back at what we have been and
Thank you.
make changes for what we will be in future.
Thank you very much, sir. It was a pleasure
Yeah.
hosting you. Thank you for
Thank you.
giving us the time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Allah.
Sorry, we are taking a break. As usual, we are taking the second break. We'll be back
Oh,
soon. Thank you.
we'll be back soon.
Yeah, we'll be
Okay.
back soon. Because last time we did only two segments, so I thought that we are going to do two segments
He
again.
said there will be three. He gave me the thing that you'll be having three.
Right.
15, 15,
It's okay.
15. Yeah.
It's all right. Okay. We'll meet again soon.
Okay, sir. Thank you.